Hello everyone, my name is Lijuan Zhao, PhD student of the Low Temperature Lab in Muroran Institute of Technology in Japan, and the topic of my report is about comparison for magnetization of weak ferromagnetic compound alpha samarium 2 sulfur 3 between single crystal and polycrystalline samples. And my report is divided into the following four parts: introduction, materials and methods, results and discussion, and conclusion. Our group focused on rare sesquisulfates for many years because of their diversity of structural types and their interesting physical properties. And alpha-type rare sesquisulfates have attracted considerable attention for their novel physical properties related to magnetic transitions. And my research is about alpha samarium 2 sulfur 3. These series compounds possess an orthorhombic crystal structure with the spin group PNMA, which has two independent rare sites R1 and R2. In the past few years, nearly all alpha R2S3 compounds have been investigated, and numerous studies have shown that the abnormal magnetic transitions in these compounds are all in low temperature regions. And the infrared antiferromagnetic orderings and anomalies have been found in both the susceptibility and specific heat. And among them, only gadolinium compounds have one antiferromagnetic transition and the others have successive antiferromagnetic transitions. In the case of alpha samarium 2 sulfur 3, by chance we found there exist successive weak ferromagnetic transitions at low temperatures about 3.8 Kelvin and 1.9 Kelvin for single crystal, and the electrical resistivity shows enormous increases and decreases rapidly in the narrow temperature region near the magnetic transition temperatures. And this property is different from the series of alpha R2S3 compounds. So in this work, we would like to report some differences in the temperature dependence of magnetization at the low temperatures between single crystal and polycrystalline samples of alpha samarium 2 sulfur 3. About the part of materials and methods, the first step is preparation of polycrystalline alpha samarium 2 sulfur 3, and we prepared sample using samaria powder and carbon disulfide gas flue as starting materials, heated at 1000 test degree for 5 hours by sulfurization method. About the second step is single crystal growth. We grow single crystal by chemical transport reaction method using iodine as a transport gas and setting high temperature and low temperature about 1120 test degree and 1060 test degree. And these are some pictures of experimental process. About the part of preparation of sinter sample, the sinter sample was prepared in the same way as the sulfurization method, and the powder of alpha samarium 2 sulfur 3 was compressed under about 180 megapascal to produce a rectangular bar and then heated at a temperature of 1000 degrees for 24 hours. About the measurement, the XRD method is used for determination of the plane orientation of single crystal and the phase purity of the powder sample, and MPMS is used for magnetization measurement. These are the pictures of sinter sample and single crystal sample used in this study. For this rectangular bar, here length is 10 millimeters and width is 2 millimeters and thickness is about 0.34 millimeters. And the single crystal is needle shaped and has a hexagonal cross section and perpendicular to the B-axis. This is XRD patterns of powder sample and sinter sample after milling. As shown in figure, all the peaks were assigned to alpha samarium 2 sulfur 3 single phase having a orthorhombic crystal structure with the space group PNMA, and the lattice parameters are shown here, and this means that we get a poor phase sample and no other impurity phases are produced during the sintering process. This is the XRD patterns of single crystal sample, and the 6 side plane orientations of single crystal were determined as 2001 planes and 4101 planes. This figure shows the temperature dependence of the magnetization for single crystal and sinter sample in an applied magnetic field of 100 Austel. And in the single crystal sample, there exists strong magnetic anisotropy among directions of the crystal axis A, B, and C, and there are different degrees of weak ferromagnetic phenomenon in each direction, and the C-axis is the easy axis of magnetization. And obviously, the magnetization values of the C-axis is very large, and a clear separation between FC and ZFC curves has been observed at 4.4 Kelvin in the single crystal along each axis. And in the case of sinter sample, both empty curves of FC and ZFC show almost the same maxima at 4 Kelvin and a small separation only below 3.6 Kelvin. Figure A is the empty curves of single crystal in various magnetic fields along the C-axis, and with the increases of the magnetic field, the separation of FC and ZFC curves diminish gradually and overlap completely at 1 Tesla. In addition, there has a tendency of magnetic saturation at from 1 Tesla. Figure B is the MB curves we measured before. As shown in Figure B, clear hysteresis loops are observed at the temperature region 1.8 Kelvin to 4 Kelvin. Therefore, it is considered that the single crystal of alpha samarium-2 sulfur 3 is in the weak ferromagnetic state in the temperature region where the separation of FC and ZFC curves appears. This figure shows empty curves of sintered sample in various magnetic fields. For the sinter sample, the curves of FC and ZFC also gradually overlap, and the transition peak broadens and shifts to lower temperature with the increases of magnetic field, and the small magnetization values below 4 Kelvin became larger markedly within the applied magnetic field within 7 Tesla. Thus, we considered the phenomena at 4 Kelvin as also ferromagnetic transition. Combining the above phenomena, we considered that the weak ferromagnetism in alpha samarium-2 sulfur 3 compound originates from the small ferromagnetic contributions of canted moments. And for the difference between single crystal and polycrystal in ZFC and FC curves, we have the following assumptions. For single crystal, there is a small ferromagnetic contributions in the FC process, so the magnetization becomes larger along the direction of the magnetic field. And in the ZFC process, due to the formation of magnetic domains, the curves drops below 4.4 Kelvin. And for sinter sample, in the FC curves, due to the formation of crystal domains and strong anisotropy, the magnetic moments of unit cells will align randomly, and small ferromagnetic contributions will be cancelled out. So the FC curves of the sinter sample drops after 4 Kelvin. And in the ZFC process, the situation is the same as that of the single crystal. And we concluded that alpha samarium-2 sulfur 3 is a weak ferromagnetic compound, and in the single crystal sample, there exists strong magnetic anisotropy among directions of the crystal axis, and there are different degrees of weak ferromagnetic phenomena in each direction, and the C-axis is the easy axis of magnetization. And the degrees of DFC in a single crystal below 4.4 Kelvin is owing to the formation of magnetic domains and the decreases of FC in a polycrystalline sample originates from crystal domains and strong magnetic anisotropy. And in the further study, we would like to determine the magnetic structure of the alpha samarium 2 sulfur 3 compound and investigate the magnetic field effect on the temperature dependence of specific heat in detail. References are shown here. That's all. Thank you.